Hello, you beautiful, incredible souls. Thank you for joining me on this new moon pick a card reading. It is a great honor to have you with us today. So, this new moon is dedicated to July's first new moon, but not limited to that. These pick a cards are timeless, so whenever you're watching them, it is dedicated for the next 2 weeks. We'll get right in to the meditation, like always. This is group 1, this is group 2, and this over here will be group 3. Let's take a couple of deep breaths in. Telling our body it is safe and relaxed. Signaling the body that it is okay, that this moment is for you. If you have your eyes closed, you can open them right now and see which deck, which pile attracts you the most. See which one is calling out. Maybe it's the colors, maybe it's the position, maybe it's the elements that are around it. And let's begin. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, my group ones. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. How have you guys been feeling since Cancer season? I know I have been extremely emotional, a little overwhelmed with these emotions, but it's been also a time of letting go of everything coming back to the surface. So I don't know if you guys have been feeling that. But hopefully this will actually shed a little light for at least the next 2 weeks. So, as usual, you have Reiki energy embedded in each group. All I need to do is just state, I accept this Reiki energy sent to me by Katarina looking or looking inwards, preferably in a place where you're not going to be bothered for at least the next 5 minutes, 5, 10, 20, usually goes as long as it needs to. What else do you need to know? We usually start off with the archetype of the next 2 weeks, and then what you need to know and where is it all going. And I pulled The Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. I'm going to read from the book from this one because it's just a beautiful little guiding book. It's very informative, and yeah, I like to add that on with my little reading. These are good for the next 2 weeks. So I usually do them every full moon and new moon. This one is for today's new moon. Actually, I'm filming it Friday, July 9th. But it's not limited to that. It is really, energy has no boundaries. So whenever you're watching this, it's probably because there's this important message in here for you. But only take what resonates, right? These are general readings. So let's start. So for you, your archetype is Judgment. Oh la la. Okay. And it's in the reverse. So I feel like there's going to be, like if you have been feeling, okay, for some of you, I feel like it's been rough. You've been having it rough only because there's like massive transformations. There is a letting go of the old and a letting in of the new. This is almost, the Judgment card is the 20th card, so it is close to your completion. It is the aha moment, the enlightenment moment before you come full circle. And reverse does mean that there is a little bit of resistance to me when I'm reading the cards, but I feel like you're getting a lot of guidance. You're having a lot of your guides come forward and giving you little hints, little pushes here and there. I am very attracted to, I don't know if you can see it, but there is beautiful feathers that Ra, actually the sun god, is holding. And to me, it's like, if you do end up, if you're one of those people, or even if you're not, and you end up seeing feathers being you know, on your way, whether you're going to the park or just on the street, take these as messages. These are messages from your guides saying that I'm here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support you. Just call on me. I feel like they just want you to call on them whenever you have any doubts, whenever you're feeling like you're not moving forward, or if you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling any kind of pain, if you have been feeling in any pain. I feel like this next 2 weeks is really going to be a time for you to connect with your guides, connect with your not only your inner guidance system, but your etheric guidance system. So I believe we all have guardian angels. I believe we all have specific guides. We all have guides that want to help us, that are in our best interest. I do recommend that you protect your energetic field if you are planning on tapping in, but just asking for your guardian angels to step in, or to help you with certain lessons, or help you understand, you know, send you a sign, and just don't have any expectations. I guess that's the only thing I'm going to add to that. Do not have any expectations on how these signs are going to be brought. I am mentioning the feathers because the feathers are very like prominent here. They're like popping out of this card for me. And I feel like these are going to be some of your guiding tools for the next 2 weeks. I feel like some of you are going to be traveling. Somewhere warm, somewhere where there's a lot of waterfront. You have over here, I don't know if you can see it, but through the door you have this beautiful oasis waiting for you on the other side. So if this is a specific place, or if this is, oh sorry guys, my allergies are like through the roof these days. If this is a specific place or a little oasis that you have encountered in your hometown, definitely visit that. I feel like it's going to bring you some insight. It's going to bring you the calmness you need to take in all the information that you're supposed to be taking in. All the lessons will be shown to you as soon as you are in a neutral, relaxed. I learned something today about our brain, and if you want to change, if we want to create new pathways, if you want to create new habits and all that, there's 2 main elements that are very important. So eagerness, how important is it, how eager it is, how eager you are to actually achieve it, and focus. So the amount of focus you put will actually trigger different chemicals in the brain that will actually create these new pathways. But where I'm going out with all this in terms of relaxation is that it was suggested to have a couple of hours of extreme focus and then a couple of hours of just ease and relaxations to allow the plasticity of your brain to actually take in that information. It's one thing to focus, but to incorporate all that into your brain and to allow these neural pathways to solidify, you need a moment of peace and relaxation where you're not thinking about this thing anymore, so the brain could just naturally find the solutions, find the answers, and find the path for you. So I feel like the next 2 weeks is really going to be the allowance of the lessons to solidify, the allowance of listening to your guides and connecting with them, of finding these moments where you're pushing but also resting, these moments of self-care. Yeah, it's gonna be, I feel like it's still gonna be a little emotional. We're still in Cancer season, but it's going to be extremely rewarding as well. And don't let your emotions take over. It's the only other thing I guess I would add to all that. Okay, so where is this all going? Where is this all going? Well, actually, first we're going to talk about what do we need to know, and then where is it all going. Check this out later. Okay, so what do we need to know right now? Okay, for some I want to say perseverance. For others I want to say watch your surroundings. I feel like the people that you believe are backstabbing, or you believe that you cannot trust, they're here to teach you a lesson more than anything, more about yourself than the situation at hand. For those that it is backstabbing, for those that you feel like there's people around you, I feel like it's more of a question of you learning how to set proper boundaries, how to communicate, and how to put your foot down. Very important. But it's also, the Seven of Swords is also, perseverance. So this person is coming into the camp. In this case, it's a woman that's like blinded, but she still has these swords around her, and she kind of has to go through them without getting cut. But in the original Riders With, you have a person coming and dismantling the army. So it's all about looking at your situation outside and in a new perspective, and finding solutions that don't really fit the box, the little box that we create ourselves, and to slowly just persevere and dismantle the army that you are afraid is going to take over by taking some of their tools, taking some of their equipment, right? And weakening them slowly but surely. So that came out pretty strong. What else do we need to know? Whatever the situation is, do not let your emotions take over. Don't let overthinking spoil the magic, basically. I feel like you have this ongoing idea that you're going to fail, or that you're not going to make it, or you're not going to be able to persevere and to accomplish what you're set out to accomplish. There is like this mental gun going on right now where you do not feel like you have the means, you do not feel like you have, let's say, the money, the time, the patience. There's like something going on in regards to this event, to this situation. But where this is all going, I mean, it's just a beautiful ending. Like, not an ending, but it's just a beautiful transition, because basically what you need to know is that you have a lot of things going in your head, and you're just allowing it to cloud your mind and cloud basically the opportunities and this moving forward, this accomplishments that you're looking for, because or you're stuck with the idea that, oh my god, this person's gonna backstab me, this person's not gonna he's not in it for my good. Instead of seeing the opportunity of being like, you know what, okay, I see this person, I see what could happen, I see the possibilities, I could see where they might not have it in my best interest, but what could I do? How could I approach the situation to slowly take away their power, their innate power of being able to backstab me, or being able just to take advantage of what you could do to lower their powers, lower their strength in one way or another. And the answer that I'm getting here is using your innate ability of motherhood. How could I say this? The Empress over me is kind of like the solution into this whole situation. The Empress represents the mother of all mothers, the queen of all queens. She has embodied and healed her wounds, and she's embodying this beautiful version and this beautiful feminine energy, which is all about compassion, it's all about care, it's all about appreciation, it's all about this alignment with her higher self and this connection with Mother Earth. And she's just able to understand other people's feelings, see where they're coming from, but also know how to express herself in a way that, makes herself feel and be understood. it's with care. Like, I feel like the situations, if you handle it with care, I feel like a big weight will be lifted, not only from you, but from the people involved. I'm almost seeing this as a situation that my sister is going through right now, funny enough. Yeah, so the weight that you're putting on your shoulders or on the situation is self-inflicted. You are inflicting this to yourself, this mental turmoil. But as soon as you come in with this energy of love and appreciation and acknowledgement, you see how she is over here. The Empress has her eyes closed, but she can still see all around. She has all her guides and all her elements around her, but she has her eyes closed and she's healing. Like, to me, I see a great Reiki master over here, a great someone who could maybe even look in and get aid from a Reiki practitioner. They can't really do it on the specific person if they don't have their approval or their yes in receiving this kind of energy. But you can also always use Reiki on relationships, on a particular, because relationships is a particular entity as well, and that's separate from the person. So if you are trying to mend or heal a relationship that has been, say, severed or wounded, you can always ask someone who is has an affinity with energy work to actually send Reiki energy to a relationship, to the body of a relationship, because it's a separate entity. It's seen as a separate entity as well, and it's usually a neutral entity. As long as one person is actually requesting it, you're not going against the free will of the other, because this is a free it's just a separate entity basically. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And yeah, so basically where this is all going, I see you kind of embodying. I feel like one of your biggest lessons here is to embody this ultimate mother aspect, this ultimate feminine aspect, to almost use everything in a way that complements and helps you. I don't know why I'm seeing these herbs as an opportunity to use different elements at your disposal to really, to not only take the weight off of yourself, but to take the weight off of this whole shebang, like this whole thing. I feel like this is something years in the making, and it just has so much like weight, so much stress, unnecessary. And I feel if you come through it with an idea and an energy of love, it's just gonna unravel, and it's just gonna help not only you but the situation to be lifted a bit from the heavy weight that it has been having on you and probably all the counterparts, everybody around it. And this ultimately, I feel, will bring a sense of help. You're gonna have this, there's gonna be a more of a give and take, a healthy give and take. There's gonna be, you're gonna receive help from others, and maybe even from this counterpart almost that I'm feeling. There's going to be some kind of healthy interaction, healthy, like your seeds are just gonna grow. It's just gonna, you're gonna reap the benefits of what you have sowed if it's out of kindness, basically. Let's see the oracle. The oracle is gotcha. So gotcha is usually the fairy of mischief. It's so funny because I watched an episode of Loki, and it was like this, basically the god of mischief, if you guys know Thor and all that. He's Thor's brother, but in this episode he actually starts realizing that this mischief side isn't really bringing him quality relationships, that he's always alone. And I'm almost feeling like this is what's going on. It's, instead of going around the bush, hitting things straight on with this loving energy might actually help the situation, or help the other person to just let go of its not shell, but its layers, is what I'm sensing here. But we will read. Let's read what Gotcha has to say from the book. So Gotcha in the reading speaks to us as sudden, often violent breakdowns of existing structures, habits, patterns, and or attitudes when we become too tightly confined by our own self-imposed limitations, including the desires for comfort and security. Gotcha kindly breaks the structure restraining us, whether we think we want him to or not. On a soul level, we know this to be necessary, but in our everyday thoughts, we usually get pretty upset about it. However, breakdowns can lead to breakthroughs. This is liberation, and we often haven't a clue what to do with it. This is usually the beginning of a period of confusion, even disorientation, while we search for a way forward. Although we may think we are simply searching for a way back to what we had before. Recommendation: do not try to pick up the pieces and put them back like they were. Consider instead what you would like to build in that part of your life. And this time, remember to leave room for growth. Interesting. So the oracle is actually inviting you to allow certain pieces to fall, to allow certain things to fall out of place, and to not be surprised if certain rude awakenings just occur. So interesting. It kind of goes back to the Judgment card, where, don't allow the transformation to happen. Allow the broken pieces to fall down. Allow to see them for what they are, and to handle them with care. To allow whatever situation is going on, allowing it to fall into pieces so you can rebuild it with stronger foundations. Rebuild the foundations stronger and pave the way to something better, something that is more collaborative. I hope this has helped you. If it has, do write. Let me know in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. This has resonated with you, and you think somebody else could actually profit from this. And I'll see you until the next one, guys. Thank you so much, and don't forget your Reiki energy. Okay, ciao. Hello, group 2s. Welcome to your reading. This is for the new moon in July. So I'm recording it today, July 9th. And it's not limited to this. Energy has no boundaries. So whenever you're watching this, it's good for the next 2 weeks. They're bi-weeklies. And you have Reiki energy embedded. So all you have to do is really just state it. I accept this Reiki energy sent to me by Katarina Lookin, or looking inwards, or just Kat. Doesn't really matter. As long as you know it's from me. And that's it. Reap the benefits. It might last a minute, 5 minutes, depending on how long you need it. And that's it. Only take what resonates with you today. I usually start with the archetype and then what we need to know and where is it all going. And enjoy. So your archetype is Magician. I feel like some of you have been feeling stuck. Some of you have been trying to work the elements and work them into your kind of advantage, kind of embodying this alchemist kind of vibe. And it's kind of been backfiring. I feel like it's just a lack of alignment. It's really just a lack of alignment. It's and I almost believe it's like also the lack of the bigger picture. There's like, sometimes we can get stuck on the details, but instead of just allowing the image to come to us, allowing, something greater than our minds, captivate us and expand our vision, we are kind of focused on the details and how we want things to be, and focused on the just the expectations of it all. And I feel like this is kind of breaking the magic. This is not what, there's a saying, overthinking kills the magic. And I actually do believe this sincerely. It is so easy to get caught up on the details and not let the universe work through us, but instead we try to fork everything, work matter to matter, right? Remember, it's not matter that creates the energy, it's the energy that creates the matter. So if you work on your energetic field, you're automatically working on your physical self. So if you want to change something, it's always good to change the perspective of what this thing is, changing your mindset. And then from there, the rest will fall into place. This doesn't mean you shouldn't be taking actions. Yes, you should still be taking actions, but allow it to be inspired actions. Allow it to be, this eagerness and this sense of, this is what I want, this is how I want to get it. And taking the steps towards it, but really allowing it to be through your energetic self first. If you work on your energy, the actions that you will take will be that much more powerful, if that makes sense. Yeah, so the next 2 weeks is really going to be your focus on and your take on working your vibrational field, staying aligned with what you want, staying aligned with, staying focused also. Seeing the bigger picture, but staying focused, right? Allowing moments of focused attention. This focused attention is really what changes our structure in our brains. From there, you'll see which elements to use to your advantage. And do look up mice, specifically white mice. I feel like there's a message in here for you, specifically. And the details. Mice are usually paying attention to details, so it's funny that we kind of have this contradiction going on. But do look up the symbolism of mice. I feel like there'll be information in there for you. Okay. So what do we need to know? And where is this all going? Oh, wow. I always love seeing the High Priestess. So what do we need to know? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Oh, wow. Okay, so the first deck had the Six of Wands in reversed. Also, yeah, the six, our first pile had the Six of Wands reversed also. So I would definitely go check the first pile out too. It's extremely, out of 78 cards to have 2 decks that actually pull that out, it's kind of impressive. So I feel like there's a grudge. There's a huge grudge going on over here. There's a grudge of some sort, and this is not allowing you to close the doors or move forward or just close that cycle. There's an ongoing cycle here. It's like a portal. It's open, and it's not being closed, and you're not able to move forward because of this grudge that's going on. And it's really just your mental state, your perspective that needs to change about the situation. There's a situation that's making you very angry or very anxious or very stressed or something about it that you have this tendency, I want to win, I want to move forward, I want to be recognized. I feel like the sense of recognition, you're not getting recognized in the world or in your domain, and it's really about this ongoing cycle to close. And it's very important that you check your thoughts in the next 2 weeks. It's going to be, I feel like it's almost like the blockage over here, the wand, this alignment is just your thoughts, but also this one particular event where you just can't let go of. There's something that you just don't want to let go of, and it's not allowing you to move forward to become all that you can be. Where this is all going, so this is all going, I feel like your alignment's going to be key for the next 2 weeks. Your alignment is going to help you tap into this inner goddess, this inner high priestess, this higher version of yourself. I see the high priestess as the higher version of you. Be kind to yourself too. This is self-inflicted. I'm almost believing here that you're not satisfied with where you are right now. You're not satisfied for the things that you have not accomplished, the things that you feel stuck in this way. You feel like you're not moving forward. You feel like, you should have, you could have, you should have been somewhere by now. There's a specific thing, and this is not allowing you to close the cycle for you to move forward and become your higher version of yourself. Like, I'm seeing like this 2 weeks is really about you closing the cycle. I have the world over here in reverse, and it's all about you being kind to yourself, you respecting yourself, respecting your past, respecting the decisions you made, respecting what you have done so far, being kind, specifically being kind to yourself, and stop putting the daggers into your heart. Stop putting it into your own heart. Like, I'm seeing the Three of Swords here. Usually it's in regards to a lover. So if this is a lover, if this is a situation with a lover, it's all self-inflicted. Yes, they might have done something, but your persistence and your continuous thinking of this person and what they have done is just you stabbing your heart and digging it into your heart every time. So they might have done something. You don't feel like you've won. You don't feel like you've overcome it. You don't feel like, you were strong enough, or you didn't accomplish what, maybe you wanted to show him that you're better, whatever it is. This is you not allowing for growth, inseminating the lessons. I feel like you're looking past certain lessons because you're so focused on this grudge, this annoyance that you have. And like the key element is the bigger picture, and you focusing on yourself, focusing on what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, where you want to do it. Obviously, don't have any expectations, but do change your perspective. Change your perspective on this person, change your perspective on the situation, but more importantly, change your perspective to close the cycle, because it's all that's missing. Be kind to yourself, even if you're not in or the place that you wanted to be. There's so much more to life. And you have all these little roses over here that are just almost screaming. I feel like they're screaming and be like, look at me, look at me. Like, yes, okay, that situation happened, but look at everything else around. Look at everything else that you have successfully done, that you are doing, that you continuously do. To keep your alignment, to keep your sanity, but more importantly, to achieve this higher version of yourself, this higher perspective of yourself. Let's see what the Oracle has to say. The Loom. I almost feel like a dreamy state over here. Almost like or you're too much in this dream reality, too much in this dream-like state, and you're not taking enough action towards what you want to do, how you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to achieve. Or you're not spending enough time in this dream-like state where you can actually see the different actions to take, allowing it to inspire you. Let's see what the book has to say. If you're stuck or blocked in a situation and the Loom turns up in the reading, you probably need to stop focusing on what you are trying to accomplish and simply give to others, freely and generously and unconditionally. Try through random acts of kindness. Unconditionally giving, of course. Unconditionally giving, of course. Go do some volunteer work somewhere. Mow your elderly's neighbor's lawn, or take homemade soup or some flowers from your garden to someone you know who is ill. Give some help to a coworker just because they need it. Give to a needy stranger whether or not you think he deserves it. Take flowers into a hospital and give them to a stranger at random, or give them to a nurse with compliments from the universe. Give a bit more than you think you can afford. Go a little further than you think you reasonably can. Empty your wallet or purse of all your cash for a beggar or on the street. Don't worry, it will fill up again, much faster than you might expect. I'll also read it reversed. Ask yourself if you have been giving too much and it is time to stop and attend to your own needs for a bit. Alternatively, ask yourself if you have been refusing to receive the bounty of the universe flowing through the loom's hands. Just because it wasn't in quite the form that you expected, or because it was from a different source than you wanted it to come from. Sometimes we put restrictions on our own receiving. For example, we may feel that approval in love has to come from one specific person, or all other approvals in love is without value to us. If so, we need to learn to accept what comes from any source as coming from a loving universe, blessed by the loom's hands. So, wow. Basically, yeah, and it's funny because I was thinking about that too. If you don't know what to do, give to others. If you don't know what actions to take, give to others. And this is so it's very powerful action to do and actions to take. If you're feeling out in the dumps, if you really give from a true intentional heart, true love, you just give freely without any expectations of return, is one of the best feelings that you can have, really. And yeah, if you are obsessed with this one outcome that you wanted, and I mean, it just sums up beautifully everything that I just said, both versions of it. And I really hope that you take what resonates and take what you need from this for the next 2 weeks. Let me know down in the comment section if you think somebody could gain insights in this. Do share, like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me. My group twos. It fills my heart up with joy. Fills my heart up to actually be able to offer these to you. And that's it. Thank you so much. And don't forget your Reiki. Ciao! Hello, my group threes. Welcome to your reading. This is for the new moon. July 9th is when I'm recording this. I believe that's the day of the beginning of the new moon. Not limited to this. Energy has no boundaries. So if you are watching this in another time, it's probably because there's a message in here that you will need to, that you've probably been guided to hear. What you need to know. So there is Reiki energy embedded in each group. All you need to do is just accept it. You can, by stating, I accept this Reiki energy by Katarina Lookin, by Kat, by looking inwards, whatever is easier for you. As long as you know it is from me specifically that you're receiving it, and stating that you are accepting it from me. These are good for the next 2 weeks, but not limited. Well, not kind of, yeah, limited to that actually. I like to set my readings for 2 weeks. So bi-weekly readings I like to give. I like to start with the archetype of the reading, and then from there look at what we need to know and where is it all going. And I like to end it with an oracle card. So I think that is all I need to say. Happy Cancer season, I guess, would be the only other thing. So let's get right into it. The call. Wow, we got all, like, I like to usually use one of my major arcana decks for the archetypes. And this time I decided just to go with the underneath energy, the energy of underneath the deck, to allow it to, but this time I decided to go with underneath the energy, the card that was underneath the deck. And turns out they were all major arcana, so it's kind of fascinating that it played out like that. So the call, it's another judgment call. Wow. Okay, so I feel like a lot of you need to watch group 1. And it was in reverse too, so I'm very, very impressed right now to have two groups that have their archetypes, which I took from underneath the deck in reversed, judgment card. I mean, I very much encourage you to watch the first pile, just because I don't believe in coincidences. You've been doing a lot of work. I've been seeing a lot. I see this book in this woman's hand, this musical instrument that she is blowing into. To me, it's like there is a lot of work being put into what you have to do, a lot of work that you have been put into where you want to go, what you want to do, and there's still going to be some work to do in the next 2 weeks, but I feel like this is just like a confirmation. You're on the right track. You're doing the work. You're doing a good job. Just keep moving forward. Judgment card is all about that aha moment, the enlightenment moment, this moment of like upgrading. And you're not there yet. I do not feel like, to me, for it to be in reverse, I feel like there's a bit of resistance, but it's less than what I felt in group 1, funny enough. So it's almost like this, like it's like clear, and it's just, you're clearing up the gunk. That's what I'm seeing here. It's like you're doing the work, you've taken the action, you've stopped, you've had goals and you've accomplished some, and now you're on that, like, okay, my intuition, let's feel my intuition, let's see what it has to have. And I almost feel like some of you need to just like maybe just stop the pick of cards for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months, just to solidify it all. I feel like now is a time of solidification. You understand? It's like not letting the spiritual ego take over. I don't feel like that's what's going on here. I feel like it's more like the solidification. So what I mean by that spiritual ego, so the spiritual ego is like this, like a course of learning, but because you're not practicing it, you think you understand, you think you know, and you're preaching about it, but because you don't have the actual experience, you haven't really solidified this awakening and allowed it to blossom. You're just too analytical, I guess would be the best way of describing this. And sometimes the spiritual ego will take over, because like, oh yes, but I learned this, I read this, I know. It thinks it knows, but in reality, it's just blindsided by the manuscripts instead of just like, enlightenment is a feeling. Enlightenment is a practice. It's an everyday ongoing practice. Alignment, it's an everyday ongoing practice. And every time with my clients, when it comes to Reiki and when it comes to energy work, they're always saying, but when does it end? It never ends. It's like brushing your teeth. If you want your teeth to be clean, you need to brush it every single day. And if you stop brushing it for a couple of days or a couple of months, well, you might have problems after. It's the same thing with energy. And but every time you walk, every time you're moving forward, you're taking in all kinds of information. Information is just energy, and it's your body and it's your mind that's translating it, right? So if you're not cleansing yourself, if you're not doing these self-care rituals, if you're not, it doesn't mean that you have to do all this, but if you're not putting in the work into releasing your stresses, releasing the weights, having fun, like this is why children, they're able to go from one situation to another, because they have this light-hearted, spirited fun around them, and honestly, that's actually the best way to learn too. It's funny because I'm loving that this is coming up, because I just watched a video about how your brain actually solidifies information, how the plasticity actually is incorporated into new stuff. And one of the things that was mentioned is fun. That's the best way to learn something, is to incorporate fun, playfulness, engagement, but in a playful way, taking action, but in a playful way, in a curious way. And this stimulates. It's extremely stimulating. It's lighthearted. It's that combined with an eager intent, like an eagerness, like almost like, okay, I need this because of this, with a specific intention and focus, is what really solidifies a learning experience. It's really what solidifies us to incorporate a lesson, whether it's learning how to read, whether it's enlightenment, whether it's our spiritual path. It doesn't really matter. It's the best way. It's one of the best ways. And I feel like you're there. Like, it's just a question of trusting your instincts, trusting your guidance system, and practicing it, really practicing it. But honestly, for me, this is just like a confirmation. I'm seeing this as a confirmation of you're doing the work, you're on the right path, and now you're just clearing out the gunk. You're just clearing, like I'm seeing all here, just like this fogginess. You're halfway out. There's just like this little path left, this little part left. And I feel for some of you is really about the grounding that information, grounding those skills, grounding it into matter, right? I almost feel like I was gonna say something and I forgot now. Yes, that matter doesn't change energy. Your energy, you can't change energy with matter. It's the energy, it's your frequency that changes the matter. So it's not matter that changes the frequencies around you, it's the frequencies change the matter. So just keep that in mind when you are doing these things, when you are taking action. Yeah. What do we need to know? And where is it all going? Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing here is the little butterfly on the Queen of Earth. So you're blossoming. You are stepping out of this cocoon-like shell. You're almost there. I feel like you're starting to spread your wings, and you spreading your wings will allow you to tap into the material world. So the Queen of Earth is all about the abundance, the prosperity, this material feel to it. And as much as you probably don't want to hear it, you're not there yet, but you're very close. Like, to me, a butterfly is a good omen, is this sense of connecting with yourself and everything around you. You're kind of coming out of a phase, right? There's a lot of reversals over here, but you have one that is upright, and it's funny that it's right in the middle. And to me, the Four of Cups is all about this longing, this missing cup, this missing element. There's like something missing, or you feel that there's missing. And I feel like it's not something that's missing, it's something that you just haven't acknowledged yet. It's your beingness, it's your, I almost feel like it's your soul. Like, you feel like there's something missing, but there's nothing missing. It's just you needing to tap into your soul. This is what's quote unquote missing, but it's not missing because your soul's always with you. And it's just a question of tapping into it and listening to it. So I feel like that's probably the only element that you feel might be missing, is this connection with something that is greater, the intention of something that is greater than you. And it's this soul-like part of you that is connected with absolutely everything, right? That is, this soul is creating your body. When I go back to, like, your vibration is creating your physical world, or your physical world, and that your physical world is not creating your energetic world. I feel like it's like right beyond there. I feel like all your heart's desires is this incorporation of the soul. Yeah, where this is all going is transformation. You have beautiful dragonflies over here, and dragonflies is metamorphosis also. It's also another sign of luck. So for those of you who are into astrology, I would definitely look into your North Node. If you don't know what it is, there's plenty of resources. And the North Node is kind of like the direction you are heading. So you have the South Node, and the North Node is opposite the South Node. If you go on your chart, you'll see it. And that's where you're heading. That's where you are, like, we've all come here to learn lessons, and on our charts we can actually see some of those lessons. And if you're going towards that North Node, you're going towards the evolution, your evolutionary path. So I don't know why that came up. Definitely look into that. I feel like there's an information in there that will be useful for you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just honestly, where this is all going, if you do not work on you connecting with your soul, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a muddy road. I feel like it will be, if you don't work on your on connecting your soul, I feel like you're just going to be working in the material realm, and the material is very hard to move things forward. It's like moving a rock, right? The rock is extremely hard and dense, and that's what happens when you stop focusing on and working on your energetic fields. You become more like, fear also does that, anxiety does that. When you let anxiety and fear take over, you become less energetic, and more like your energetic field actually shrinks. So you become more matter than energy. So everything just hurts more, everything is more painful. You're not allowing energy to kind of flow through you effortlessly. So it gets condensed, it gets almost like a rock, and it's very hard to move past or forward in this state. And like I said, it's just incorporating this higher version of yourself, but more importantly, this soul aspect of you, to believe in your intuition, start practicing your intuition. Doesn't mean that you're not going to make mistakes, but part of listening to your intuition is making these mistakes. And if you do not start, if you stay with just, focusing on what's lacking and what you don't have instead of seeing what you do have, it's going to be very hard to move forward for you, or to see the light at the end of the tunnel, basically. But as soon as you start incorporating your soul and incorporating a specific intention and focusing on that intention, having almost a mission statement that is bigger than you. Like, why are you doing all this? I would really go into the sacred why of everything. Why are you wanting to connect with your soul? Why are you wanting to evolve? Why are you wanting to learn your lessons? What is purpose? Is it because you want to break ancestral ties? Is it because you want to help people that you love? Is it because you want to help the world? Like, what is it about the service that you can offer that will be bigger than you, almost? The sacred why. It's like, I have been taking all kinds of classes, and the sacred why always comes back. Always comes back. It's crazy. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be deep learning, but it's if you allow it, it's going to be so much fun to just continue on this path of funness. And you have the 10 of Cups at the end of the road. If you decide to really incorporate a higher version of yourself, incorporate your soul, allowing this transformation, allowing like whatever has been weighing on you to just dissolve and dissipate. That doesn't mean you shouldn't feel them. Yes, definitely feel them, acknowledge them. It's one of the best ways to let energy move through. Transform them if you can. Try to see them. It's all about perspective at the end of the day. It's really all about perspective. If you see a situation and you see it as something horrible, and you see it as like how am I going to deal with this, it's you're just amplifying the trauma and the triggers. And if you're able to actually see past that, and you're able to accept and acknowledge for what it is, and acceptance, like acceptance is such a beautiful, pure and easy thing to do. It doesn't sound easy, it doesn't feel easy, but it's one of the main things that we have control over. We can control whether we accept something happening to us or not, whether we can accept the BS that's going on in the world or not. But the beauty about accepting is that once you have accepted it, and it doesn't mean that you agree with it. Acceptance is just accepting, okay, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Accepting just gives you the opportunity to actually move forward. Once you've accepted, you can now move forward and move beyond the situation, because you're not in the past self. You're not bringing it back up. You're not trying to excuse it. You're not distracting yourself with this situation. You have accepted it. And once you have accepted something, it's like you're no longer giving energy to past emotions, past thoughts. You've accepted it for what it was. Doesn't matter what it was. And you can move forward. You can start taking the steps forward. And yeah, the world is your oyster. The world is your playground if you choose to just accept what is. And if you incorporate this beautiful version of yourself, embodying your emotional states. I kind of feel like some of you are water signs too. There's a lot of water over here, a lot of water. So I feel like, especially here in Cancer season, it might be a little extra water, a little extra emotions, and just feel them, just acknowledge them, move through them. You're going to get everything your heart's desires. Everything. Like, to me, it's these water, these lotuses, I believe, roses, whatever it is. If it's love that you're looking for, whatever you're desiring, go back to the sacred why. Why is that? If you see that there's situations that's holding you back, accept them for what they are. Accept them. From there, you'll be able to move forward and really turn into this beautiful, really fully embrace this Judgment Day like feeling of evolving in evolutionary kind of version of you, the next level, right? And let's see. Oh, you got the fawn. You got one of these energy. Talking about energy. These are one of the energetic fairies. So they're specifically energy. And this is the fawn. And we're gonna read a book, actually. Just because, to me, I see this and it's like, okay, it's really time for your alignment, working on your alignment, having fun with it, enjoying the feeling, using your manifesting skills, having fun with them, playing with energy. Like, I see it really as a playful way. So the fawn, natural magic is happening. When things flow almost effortlessly, that is a sign that nature magic is at work. Enjoy it. A very important part of nature magic is simply allowing the energy to flow through us. This means both giving and receiving freely. Let the energy flow. Don't push it. Don't try to control it. Just dance with it. Trust it. And remember to keep returning to the source for inspiration and to keep your heart filled with light. What did I just say? Like, just have fun. If you take anything for the next 2 weeks, just have fun. Just have fun with the people you love. Have fun with working with energy. Have fun with your soul. Your soul just wants to, I feel like your inner child just wants to explode. That's what I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like your inner child just wants to explode and it wants to connect with your soul. And your soul is just like, why are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring us? Let's just have fun. Like, I feel like some of you even have kids and you're just too serious. You just feel like you need to be the serious. No, 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 no. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but go roll around in the grass with your kids. Go up and down those jungle gyms. Eat that ice cream with them. Engage in a little food fights. You know, eat your ice cream like you just don't care. Let it like drip on you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, act like it. Like you. I feel like they will be able to embrace themselves a lot if they see you embracing your inner child. Is where I'm going with this. I hope this has helped you. I hope this has healed whatever needs to be healed, understood whatever needs to be understood. I hope this has just eased your thoughts and your stress and your tension. And do let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe if you think somebody else could enjoy this. Send them a share, and have a beautiful new moon, guys. It's all about intentions. It's all about intentions. Set them, plant your seeds, and remember to take your Reiki. And that's it. Ciao.